Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, feel free to obliterate that subscribe button. Just clickety-clack it a couple times. Make sure that you are subscribed. If you are returning, as always, thank you so much for coming back. And let's get into what we have today. So as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, it's time to be outraged. Apparently, Mr.Game Watch is racist. And we're going to go over this and what I think today. So it all started with this tweet, and this tweet is as follows. It has a couple of pictures in it to kind of signify and give it a little more of what's going on. I'm not going to mention the person's Twitter name. I'm just going to leave it private. So please don't try to look them up and attack them. They are just voicing their opinion. But this is what the person says. Please check and spread the below thread from Reset Era. Mr. & Watch's new forward smash in Smash Ultimate is a direct reference to a Game & Watch game featuring racist depictions of Native Americans. I'm Native and this hurts. At Nintendo of America, can you please help? And then it just has a link to it. And Nintendo even went so far as to respond, and this is what they said. Nintendo has been planning to distribute an update for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that removes the feather from the silhouette of Mr. Game & Watch. The original game on which this depiction of the character is based on was released more than 3 decades ago and does not represent our values today. We sincerely apologize that this change was not noticed in our marketing material and are continuing our work to make Super Smash Bros. An experience that is both welcoming and fun for everyone. And with that said, there should be a coming day 1 patch that's going to remove the feather. And all right, I'm just going to start with this. So for a bit of more context, yes, this is from an old, like a 3 decades old Fire Attack game. The premise of the game is you are a cowboy and Indians are coming to burn down your fort, and you just have to stop them. It's that whole classic cowboys versus Indians thing, or I guess I'm sorry, Native Americans thing at this point. Let's go from the top. I'm a little floored by it. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm a little floored by it. Now, we all know that Sakurai likes to take moves from characters' history, right? Take moves, instances, all that other good stuff. And he really kicked it into overdrive with Game & Watch this time around, because Game & Watch and all of its moves look so much more authentic to the old, like the Game & Watch that is referencing, which is awesome to me. Like, it's really cool. But I'll start it off with a disclaimer too. This won't be towards any previous suffering or me saying, hey man, it sucks to be you. People of all races have went through some complete and unnecessary bullshit. Like, that's our history. Like, Native Americans have had that their land was stripped away from them, and the only thing they got for that was a blanket of smallpox and malaria, and shoved into corners of the United States. They didn't even, for a time, the United States didn't even want to give them citizenship, which is a dick move on America's part, like through and through. The Chinese were forced to build American railroads while dying from it. Japanese Americans were forced into technically concentration camps during World War II. Even the Irish got crap too. Latinos and many minorities today get a raw deal and being grossly underpaid because they either have no means of providing better for themselves, or they feel like they have no means to get a better life. And don't get me started on what happened to black people.
That is exclusively a white privilege. Black people can't fuck with time machines. A black guy in a time machine is like, hey, anything before 1980? No, thank you. I don't want to go.
One thing that I think is just genuinely important here is the fact that context definitely matters. From what I know about being racist is, if you're a racist, it's usually meant to either discriminate or to tear down a particular race. Like, you just intentional. I mean, I guess there could be a such thing as unintentional racism. I can easily see that, but I don't get that. I really don't get that from here. If I got upset about one frame of animation from Game & Watch, then I would have to be upset about the majority of the roster from like Street Fighter, which I love those characters. I think it gives them flair and flavor. Context straight up matters. There's other people out there that say that context doesn't matter. Context does matter. It puts a lot of things in perspective, because from one point of view, it can look like somebody's actually doing something bad. And then from another person's point of view, I guess, of course, you filter it through your life, like your history and you know, your life experiences and all that other good stuff. But context really does matter. Intent really does matter to me. Like, you can easily like not know something and do kind of like if you go to another country. Which country is it? I forgot. But you can literally do an okay sign in another country and it's not okay. I think one of those places is East Asia. I think another place is Singapore, which is, it's weird when you really think about it. Like, you think so little of the okay sign because it's kind of a meme at this point, because regular people will sit up there and just do okay sign, peace sign, and crying. I hate the crying emoji so much. But yeah, that's, you know, again, context matters, because context over here, nobody's bothered by the okay sign. Context over there, they are offended. I think thumbs up is even another one too. I think in Greece and Iran, maybe some parts of Africa, thumbs up is actually offensive. So yeah, to me, context genuinely does matter. I mean, the person that's saying that this is racist, let's look up the definition of racist, or at least racism. Noun: prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. A program to combat racism. Synonyms: racial discrimination, racialism, racial prejudice, xenophobia, chauvinism, bigotry, and casteism. I mean, and it goes and continues: the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race specifically, or at least especially, so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. So yeah, to me, the fact that it's added in, one, it just celebrates the history of Game & Watch, which, I mean, why else would he put this in? Can anybody honestly say that Sakurai is racist? He may be kind of a dick, but he still cares. Yeah, I just have to, it is what it is. And again, I feel like it just pays homage to the old Firewatch game, which probably didn't, you know, think about the context of it. It wasn't really a big deal. And I'm pretty sure nobody at Nintendo is like, haha, that one frame of animation will show the world. This will degrade them. Like, nobody's thinking that there. Like, absolutely not. And to me, it breeds personality. So to further drive me saying personality, I really think it does. Just, you know, plain vanilla Game & Watch is fine. Like, I'll take him. It's not really a big deal. But like with anything else, it's pretty awesome to add, you know, other cultures to the mix. And it really does give him, I mean, it's just one, like, it's more of a reference to the game. But yeah, just adding extra flair to him is just really cool. It makes it more authentic to who Game & Watch is. It's nothing in it is like, yeah, we got him. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like really silly. But I think the best description of personality being added is, let's take a clip from Game Grumps and listen very closely to what Aaron says about Piston Honda in this Punch-Out playthrough.
Man, I love this guy.
Yeah, I like him too. He's very saucy.
He's like a Disney musical number. Oh man, I love this guy. I think he's my new favorite character.
Yeah, he's pretty sweet. Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Oh, there's a lot to like about him.
I kind of love him.
Yeah, I like him too.
I want a toy of him. Oh, what a badass. He's way cooler in this than the other one. He just seemed like a face in the old
Yeah.
one. What's so funny, Bear Hugger?
Yeah.
What?
He's jolly.
Let us in on the joke. He definitely looks like less obnoxious.
Yeah.
Still obnoxious.
Still like a yeah.
But not totally.
Yeah. Wonder if oh, this is excellent. Tell me he romances the bull. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man, look at
you know
all those
what?
girls.
I gotta say, I like his style. I like his moves.
Oh, what a son of a.
Oh, this is outstanding.
Now, based off of the straight up definition of racism, wouldn't you say the goal of racism is to take away the personality and demean the race? I don't think it does that here. And even Aaron responds with,
I love him!
Yeah,
He's great!
I really doubt that this is racist in any way, shape, or form. If it was a racist, if it was a racist caricature, it would suck. Like if you put an afro on Game & Watch or something like that for one of his moves, I wouldn't give two craps, nor like a travel outfit or whatever. I see it as celebrating the culture and celebrating the history that is Game & Watch and paying tribute to like an old ass game. I don't see it as racist at all. It's not like akin to say like a Confederacy flag or something, which literally they fought to keep their way of life, which was have slaves. It's nowhere, like it's just not related at all. It's not racist to me at all. And I really think it does. It really gives some personality to Game & Watch. And I think that's really cool. Nobody else playing this game, I'm pretty sure, thinks that. It's like, yeah, I hate Native Americans. I'm going to do like, that's not the case. But so the person that asked Nintendo that question, does this really matter to you that much? I mean, really, like, does it really matter to you that much? It's just 2 frames of animation, for God's sakes. I mean, say for instance, people of color in Smash. One thing that I would definitely like to see is I would like to see more color representation in Smash. I think it would be awesome. Am I going to lose sleep over it? No. It would be really cool. Like I would love to have Elma in Smash. Other than that, she's just cool. Twin Tail would be awesome in Smash. I mean, a small percentage of me wants it because of that. That and damn, that Twin Tail, boy. But that lack of representation, I can't stress it enough. It's not worth losing sleep over. Just like the representation of Native American in 1 second of 1 frame of animation is just, it's meaningless. Like, why fixate on that? At this point, it's like, if you make any kind of entertainment, you really can't like win or anything. If you have a white character, then why is she not black? Or he or she not black? If you have a black character playing like a white role, then you get this nonsense right here.
No, Idris Elba, you cannot be James Bond. You will not be 007, no matter how many tweets you put out saying I'm Elba, Idris Elba. It's not because you're a gentleman of colour, it's because James Bond isn't.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Things really can get much worse than this. I mean, I can see the outside world right now like, yeah, I'm gonna beat that ass. So it doesn't make any sense. There's so much worse in the world to have to deal with. Like it's so much. It's not even funny, really. It's kind of frustrating. But yeah, it goes on. If you have a black one, then you see. If it's a female, like for example with the Ghostbusters remake, I mean, the outrage about having female characters, and some of it's even just make-believe outrage, just making up stuff to kind of like defend the movie. It's happening on both sides. I mean, with Ghostbusters, let's not talk about the fact that the movie was bad, the acting was bad. I mean, not everyone. The effects were bad, nothing made sense, crappy potty humor, terrible script. Like, what the fuck? How can you be fired for a YouTube video? Why do you kill your main villain before the end of the movie? It's like, and they wasted Bill Murray and Michael K. Williams. All right. I'm sorry. I'm way I'm way off base at this point. Let's get back on track. But I mean, instead of people focusing on gender, and gender shouldn't mean crap, the quality should. If you don't like it, you know, if you're really upset about one frame of animation, seriously, like literally just one frame of animation is not even intended to be racist in any way, shape, or form. No one, Nintendo's not going to do that because it's a bad look, it's bad PR. Number two, it's Sakurai that's making this game. Sakurai is not that kind of person. He's just not. It's stupid. It's so stupid. But yeah, there's larger things in the world to worry about. There's so much larger. Heart disease, healthcare, free speech in the world. I mean, we literally had a journalist get hacked up with a bone saw less than a couple months ago. Shootings are becoming like a common thing as dwindling fresh water we can drink. I mean, I can go on. You got asylum seekers being killed for being sent back to Mexico, trying to get away from cartels that they've testified against. I mean, just BS needless incarcerations in the United States. I mean, there's like over 2 million people that are incarcerated right now, with some of them actually dying before they were found innocent of whatever crime. It's like, oh baby, I could go on. One of the things to me here is you need to prioritize your outrage. You worry about this when next to no one would have even looked at this and thought, goddamn right, them Native Americans need to be taught a lesson. Like nobody gives a crap about that. I mean, people would have noticed it in passing and not even have thought about it. I would have never have thought about it. It kind of reminds me of that whole Megyn Kelly thing. I mean, not to get political, but I mean, it's related to Smash Brothers, where this Megyn Kelly chick, I'm not even a fan of her at all, but she apologized for her blackface comments about, you know, as long as you do it in a respectful way, then I mean, I think it's fine. Again, I can't stress it enough. I don't like her. I've seen her before. I'm not a fan for obvious reasons. She plays for whatever team that she's on, if you know what I mean, which a lot of them do. I don't like the shit-tastic network she came from, but to get up in arms over her comments it's just stupid. I mean, if you want to cosplay or dress up out of respect of a race, then that's fine. Like, it's respect. Like, I don't get the issue with the outrage. Or there was another outrage to where there was like a little high school chickie that dressed in a Chinese outfit, and then there was somebody on Twitter who's like, my culture's not your it's not your outfit, or some crap like that. And he, in a previous tweet, was like, what was it like? I live in a country where I can eat some American food and then eat it with chopsticks. It's like, yeah, we celebrate other cultures, you Nimrod. I mean, I'm sorry, I got kind of a little out of hand there, but yeah, it's like everybody picks outrage that suits whatever narrative they want. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even think dude was even outraged, the person that made that tweet about the whole the girl that was doing the Papa Bless sign at that prom with the guys doing the Vape Nation in the background. I don't even think that he was outraged. I think he just wanted some internet fame. I think this person knew that making some kind of bold kind of I'm standing up for the little guy kind of post would have got him attention, and it did. I'm pretty sure with anybody that has that mindset, it's like, yeah, you tell that white girl. Like, it's asinine to me. It all really, 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 really is. I mean, the guy just got on his soapbox and was like, my culture isn't your dress. It's like, shut up. It's so pointless. Again, worse things out there. Bone saw, companies denying people health care for BS reasons, like, oh, you didn't sign this, or you didn't dot this line, or people getting cheated out of their money or their home, and they're being screwed over by other like ruthless people, people just getting swindled and scammed all the time. Like, there's so much other things to worry about: poverty, hunger, disease, health issues, how the elderly are treated in this country and so many other places, genocide, like that's still a thing. Modern slavery still happens in parts of the world, trafficking, so many other things to be outraged for, but you choose to be upset about one frame of animation in a game that nobody would have noticed, and if they did, they wouldn't have even thought about it. It would have been in passing. No, this is what you choose to worry about. 600 some odd thousand people dying of heart disease every year. I'm not outraged about that. Let me be outraged about Game & Watch. This obscure character, like, it ties back into context mattering. It doesn't make any sense, man. It really doesn't. You have to ask yourself, when does the outrage end? I mean, does someone dressing up in a Native American outfit constitute as racism? If you went as a black or an Asian person, and I wouldn't bat an eye. Out of all the costumes you could do, you chose to do this one, and you did it out of respect and appreciation. If you ran around like Amos and Andy or whatever, and were obnoxious and did every racial stereotype under the sun, I'd be like, all right, so clearly you're being a jackass. And if somebody socked you in the jaw, I wouldn't be surprised. They shouldn't do it, but if they did, if you're doing something like that, like running around with the afro, eating chicken and watermelon and drinking, like, just every stereotype under the sun, and you're being loud and obnoxious, and just you're really going out of your way to try to it's obvious that you're trying to make somebody look bad, then all right, sock in the jaw. But on this, a feather and a fire, like, it's reference to an old game. It's nonsensical to me. It really is. If it's showing respect to the culture and it's not doing like every Native American stereotype, then what's the big deal? And again, it's kind of akin. It really just gets me. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that this is just a one-sided boo-hoo, suck it up baby thing. It's because it's not. Because again, if they were obnoxious with it, then pop them in the face. But at some point, we really need to settle down. Like, if Nintendo was doing something crazy like that, I'd be like, Nintendo, all right, you need to chill. But it kind of reminds me of the whole Jinx the Pokemon and Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball, to where they changed the colors of them. Jinx was just was based off of a monster from old lore. Like, it's not really a big deal. Dragon Ball, I guess slightly different, because boy, those lips, man. Akira Toriyama and those lips, man. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for you there. He didn't make them loud or obnoxious or anything. It's just that was his art style. But definitely not a fan of that. Definitely not a fan of that art style, like, in any way, shape, or form. But just him being just like nighttime black, I was never, as a kid, and again, it's another reason why context matter, because racism is an adult concept. It's not a kid concept. When kids are born and they don't know what racism means, they think nothing of that. When I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kiddie, when I watched Pokemon as a kiddie, not once did I ever think that either of those characters were racist depictions at all. Like, just in no way, shape, or form. It never crossed my mind. And even as I started to understand what racism was, I looked at these two characters, just like this Game & Watch frame of animation, and I don't see like racism at all within it. It's important to understand the reaction, to think really hard about this and be like, should I really waste my time? Should I really be outraged here? Aren't there more things to be outraged about? I think as time goes on, the more and more you get offended by something, it's a slippery slope. Today it's Game & Watch's Native American move. Tomorrow it's Simon Belmont's issues with Christianity. They did my boy bad though. Then it just degrades from there to the game is just a sanitized and boring and family friendly with no violence. I mean, at that point, Smash Brothers will literally just be Teletubby Mario Party, and that's boring. Like, people will be offended that these characters are attacking each other the same way PETA got upset about Pokemon attacking. Well, I mean, it does set kind of Pokemon does kind of set a bad precedent for making your pets fight, more or less. But it's just like Grand Theft Auto, to where You know, just because I'm shooting up a city or whatever, it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and do it in real life. It absolutely does not. Like, it's fake make-believe outrage. It's just all of it. I mean, honestly, this Game & Watch story really isn't that big. It's really not that much of a big deal, but I do like it as a jumping off point to kind of go over just being outraged about stuff. I think it's perfectly okay to be outraged about things when the time calls for it. Me personally, I think you should prioritize your outrage. Have things in the world that really hurt other people, other creatures, other beings. It really just isn't fair, and it's just wrong, and it's awful, and it shouldn't happen. Have that higher on your priority list of outrage versus a frame of animation. I can't stress that enough. And again, context matters, mate. But I'm not upset or anything. I just really think it's a great jumping off point. But that's my take on it. You know, tell me what you think down below. You know, I want to hear from you. Now, if you like this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button. A little deeper than the normal videos. I do apologize. It's not really scripted like it should be. But I just wanted to give a decent take on it. Like a decent, you know, I wanted to give it its due process. But yeah, so you like the video, feel free to subscribe. I do have a Patreon. Man, this is really unscripted. If you do have a I'm all over the place at this point. I do have a Patreon. If you do want to donate to it, it would go to help out the channel. I'll be able to do things like giveaways, streams, and other good things that I really would like to do. You don't feel obligated to do it, but it would definitely do a great deal of good if you decide to, or if you just want to get yourself something nice, or if you want to get a gift for someone and you want to support the channel. Threadiverse.com, discount in the description as always. And thank you guys for so much for sitting through this video. Feel free to give me some feedback. I greatly appreciate it. A little bit longer than normal. I do apologize. And with that said, I will see you next time. Peace.
You just said the statement a couple of seconds ago. Why should I consider your context if you're not concerning mine?
You've broken the law. Do you regret breaking the law?
You just broke the law 2 seconds ago when you said the phrase. Remember, context matters, mate.